desert, for I walk in this world.
Well, good Friday morning to you. Hope it's a great day. Hope that your week has been blessed, and I hope the weekend ahead is going to be a great weekend for you as well. As we always do on Friday, it's song and story time, and so we're going to jump into a story and a song with you this morning. Mark chapter 2, verse 17 says, "When Jesus heard it, he said to them, I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." The author of this particular hymn, name was Will Lamartine Thompson. He was born on November 7th, 1847 in East Liverpool, Ohio, a small town on the Ohio River across from Kentucky. His father was a local merchant and a member of the Ohio State Legislature. Will attended Mount Union College in nearby Alliance, Ohio. His musical abilities took him to the Boston Conservatory of Music and to Leipzig, Germany, to study with the greats. Will was interested in writing secular songs and patriotic songs, but when he traveled to Cleveland to sell his music manuscripts, he was offered only $25. Feeling slighted, Will rolled up his music, returned to East Liverpool, and he prayed about what to do next. When his father sent him to New York on business, Will took his songs to a printer, and he was intent on publishing and selling them himself. My Home on the Old Ohio and Gathering Shells from the Sea were instant hits, and Will soon became known as the Bard of Ohio. He became a millionaire. The young man credited the Lord with his success, and wanting to return thanks, he dedicated himself to writing Christian songs from that point forward, and Christian songs only. He established Will L. Thompson and Company with offices in East Liverpool and Chicago, and his quartet numbers sold 2 million copies. In 1880, this hymn, Softly and Tenderly, appeared in a book entitled Sparkling Gems Numbers 1 and 2 Combined, published by Thompson and Company. Despite his success and wealth, Will was known as a simple and sincere man. He felt concerned that while famous musicians traveled to the great cities to perform before large crowds, people in rural areas and small towns seldom had anyone come and minister to them in like fashion. So he loaded an upright piano on his 2-horse wagon, and he drove into the country to sing and play his own songs in small churches throughout the Midwest. In the late 1890s, he paid a visit to evangelist D.L. Moody, who was very ill and near death. Most visitors had been turned away, but when Moody heard that Thompson was downstairs, he called for him. "Will," he said, "I would rather have written softly and tenderly Jesus' calling than anything I have been able to do in my whole life." And of course, we sing the song Softly and Tenderly, and it has gone on from that point in the 1800s till today to be an amazingly encouraging song and a favorite of many. And so let's sing together Softly and Tenderly. Softly and tenderly Jesus is calling, calling for you and for me. See, on the portals he's waiting and watching, watching for you and for me. Come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, O sinner, come home. Why should we tarry when Jesus is pleading, pleading for you and for me? Why should we linger and heed not his mercies, mercies for you and for me. Come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, O sinner, come home. Oh, for the wonderful love he has promised, promised for you and for me. Though we have sinned, he has mercy and pardon, pardon for you and for me. Come home, come home. Ye who are weary, come home. Earnestly, tenderly, Jesus is calling, calling, O sinner, come home. Again, what an encouraging song. Just the message that no matter where you're at, no matter what you've been through or what you've even struggled with, Jesus is earnestly and he's tenderly calling each and every one of us, just come home, come back to me, take my yoke upon you. It's lighter and it's easier, and leave your burden behind. What an encouraging song. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling. Hope this encourages you today and heading into your weekend, and I hope that you will just continually hear that message that Jesus is calling, and he wants each and every one of us to come home. Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart words of life, words of hope.